Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Dane here. Papa Gulch is here too. And today we are doing a little bit of maintaining. Our fuel man, Mr. Land from Bear Oil, hooked us up with all of our oils this time around. We usually run Rotella, but they've got a house brand Warren. And he says all of their truck fleet owners are switching over to this because it's cheaper and it's just as good. And it meets all the certain specifications put out by every manufacturer, motor manufacturer that they need, and this oil meets it. And so he's had good luck. So we've got 16 gallons of oil, no, 12 gallons of oil, and some hydraulic fluid. We just needed the hydraulic fluid. Coals, we're always putting some in, and so we're doing the 4440 first. That's the ticket, 1.25 inches. So we've got a few things to do. Obviously, I don't think we've changed oil in this one in 2 years. Probably got about 400 hours on it, so it's definitely due. 4255, I think we did a year ago, but it's definitely due as well. And we're just going to go ahead and change them all. We're going to blow out radiators and blow out air filters and things of the nature, things that get neglected on it. Shit out of the truck. Check the oil one last time real quick. Got a secret they want to share. You could use a touch. A little bit? Mm-hmm. Right on the money. Ooh-wah. Right on the money. Ooh-wah. We are going to try and refill the cans with the old oil. If any of y'all have any good ideas about what to do with used oil other than taking it to either a parts store or a oil change place. A lot of guys have shop heaters and stuff like that, but it doesn't get hot enough here to justify the cost of one of those shop heaters here. And I'm not really too hip on the idea of putting them on like trailer floors and stuff, because this stuff is just nasty. But all right, oil change complete on the 4440. Yes, if you have any good ideas about what to do with used oil, I'm just going to take it to the auto parts store, or else it'll sit here forever. And so, if you have any good ideas of what to do, let me know. Let me know. Dad's going to fire up the old 4255. Sneak peek of the house. It's coming along. Coming along real nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, much easier access. They thought it through. Hot dog. John Deere engineers got something running. Oh! Oh, golly, jeepers. Oh! Tight enough. The oil changes are done. Guess we'll pull the tractors out now. I've got my foam cannon, and we're gonna rinse them down and pressure wash them, clean the cabs out, and get all that fun stuff done. Alrighty, well, they're all pressure washed and cleaned, ready to go back together, so we're gonna get after it. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with us through this video. I really appreciate it. As you can see, we did a little something different here. We're going to try to add a little bit more dimension to the videos. I plan on having a few sit-down moments, not every video, but I feel like this is going to be a good space for me to kind of chat a little bit about things. And I really wanted to go over an important subject that I think is relatively important, especially if you're getting into farming in general, really. But it's the way we see things, it's the way that we operate, and seems to be tried and true so far. There's going to be tons of commentary on this video, I'm sure. A lot of people might not see eye to eye on certain things, and this is what fits our program right now. I'm not saying it's going to change or not going to change. We might do things differently when our business starts to scale up. But anyway, I wanted to go over why we run older equipment, and this is really just pertaining to the tractors, right? As you know, we run John Deere. One's a 79 4440, and then one's a 1989 4255. I just wanted to hit like a small checklist of why we run older equipment. So basically, we'll start at cost, and that's probably the big ticket item. We picked both of those tractors up in 2016, and if some of you are watching this video and happen to be interested in like the old Iron Horse series tractors, you probably know that prices are skyrocketing right now. What I did was I went through Tractor House. If you're unfamiliar with Tractor House is an online tractor marketing website. It shows for sale listings for tractors all over the world, mostly in the US, but there are some overseas. And I took basically the top 10. As you know, our John Deere 4440 is just a standard, two-wheel drive tractor. It's got a cab and a loader. I did not go apples to apples on Tractor House because it would have taken me forever to find precisely the same tractor. I believe there were about 50 models for sale, maybe more, 60 models for sale on Tractor House, and I literally took the top 10 prices, wrote them down, averaged them out, and I got this number. So it looks like the highest price John Deere 4440 is $43,500. The lowest price John Deere 4440 that I found was $21,500. With the top 10 listing, or not top 10, but the first 10 listings on Tractor House, the average was $31,775. Like I said previously, we paid $27,500 in 2016. So now that you know what the kind of average price is for a John Deere 4440 in today's terms and what we paid for it, I went and found a comparable model that John Deere makes today. I believe it was a John Deere 6155M. You know, they have the different tiers. They have the D, the M, the R being the premium tractor, M being like the middle range, kind of sort of bells and whistles, and I think they have an E or a D, and they might not even make those anymore. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I shot for the M just because it had the most listings, and what I did was went and found the same thing, top 10 listings, and it didn't have to have a loader. It could have had a loader. All of them were pretty much four-wheel drive. I don't even know if you can really get them in four-wheel drive or not. But anyway, I went through and picked the top 10 listings, put them in a list, and averaged them out. And the highest price being probably four-wheel drive, loaded out, loader, was $147,500. And that's for one tractor. John Deere 6155M. And the lowest price, no loader, had front weights, four-wheel drive, was $69,500. With the average price being $111,110. So I'll jump back to the 4440 real quick. The average price for the top 10 listings was $31,775, and the average price of the 6155Ms, the top 10 listings, was $111,110. So that's a $70,000, $80,000 difference. Okay, I just wanted to talk real quick about the two models that I picked here. The John Deere 4440 and our John Deere 4255 from the factory have a rated PTO horsepower of about 130 horsepower. With that being said, that is why I had to jump up to the 6155M John Deere tractor. In today's terms, marketing terms, I don't know when they made the change, but now they rate horsepower based on the engine horsepower rather than the PTO horsepower like they did back in the day. And so now the 6155 has pretty close to 130. It might be a touch higher, like 135 PTO horsepower. Just wanted to give that clarification before we get further on down the road. So we have a 1979 4440 price, average price today at $31,775, and a 6155M, a comparable tractor, at $111,110,000. So let's talk about the 4255 real quick. Granted, this tractor is 10 years newer. They are bringing better prices because they're newer, and typically they are lower-houred machines. I just took the top 10 tractors on the listings and wrote their prices down and averaged them out, and this is what we came up with. The highest price on the top 10 listings was $64,000. This is for the 4255. And the lowest price I found was $29,800. Between those 10 prices averaged out, we got an average of $40,820. So that still shows roughly a $70,000 difference between the 6155M and the 4255. So number one, or the first checklist item on our list of why we run older iron is price. Number two, we're going to talk about the second reason we run this older equipment. Mainly, we can work on them, right? We can't do everything. You know, I wouldn't trust myself with an in-frame overhaul, but I wouldn't trust myself on an in-frame overhaul on a newer tractor either. But the biggest thing is that we can work on these tractors. You know, we try to keep up routine maintenance every year. You know, simple oil changes, oil filter changes. We try to keep cabin filters clean, change out all the hydraulic fluid when it's time. You know, just the basic necessities to keep a tractor up to par, up running, and, you know, lessen the breakdowns, right? With the newer tractors these days, obviously electronics are involved. I'm no electronic tech when it comes to a tractor. I could probably find my way through a few of the issues, but it just scares me. There's just more things to go wrong on the newer tractors than there are on the older tractors. Especially with the new systems these days, the new emission systems, government's requiring, you know, emissions, DEF systems, DPF filters, things of that nature. I don't have any personal experience with it other than, you know, my buddy Ryan, who has a Mahindra 9110S, and You know, it's had its issues, but part of, you know, the major issues that it has had has been with the emission system. Things like that kind of scare me. I know we're not going to have a choice eventually. I can't run old iron forever, but for now, we're getting by just fine. I love the old tractors. Um, they're running great. The number 3 item I want to talk about leans on the first item, and that item would be resale value. I'd like to think that we're going to keep these tractors forever, but as things move around, as we grow, as you know, things change, right? We want to make the right business decisions when it comes to the equipment we run. If you happen to be in the market right now for these old Iron Horse Series tractors, you know that the prices are almost ridiculous in my eyes. I'm glad I own 2 of them, but some of the prices, as I read off on these highs and lows, are pretty ridiculous. So, as I mentioned before, we picked up the 4440 for $27,500. And the average price right now on the top 10 listings is $31,775. So that means that we've run that tractor for 4 seasons now, and we happen to earn ourselves almost $4,000 just in equity, even running the tractor. So the appreciation that we've gained on our tractor is just a plus, right? Same thing with the 4255. You know, we paid $33,500 for that tractor. It came with duals and everything, the loader. And the average price for the top 10 listings on Tractor House are $40,820. We paid $33,500, so we've cleared over $7,000 just by owning the tractor for 4 years. Those are really the top 3 things that I wanted to talk about. Those are kind of the pros of why we run old iron. You know, there are some cons. Big thing being maintenance, right? Or reliability. I have here a list of things that we have repaired on both tractors and the kind of a rough cost of what we've spent on them to keep them up to par. Things that have broke, things that needed to be fixed. The big thing is, like, when we bought these tractors, you know, they were pretty much ready to go to the field, but, you know, as you use them, you kind of find the weak points, things that should have been replaced, you know, before we bought the tractor, or, you know, the previous owner, things that we've broken and needed to replace. You know, so we'll talk about the 4440 real quick that we own. We've spent roughly about $5,500 on repairs and miscellaneous things to keep it in the shape that it is now. That includes $1,200 in tires, $2,500 in a new AC. You know, that AC has gone out multiple times on us, and we finally basically have all of the components replaced. You know, a few things here and there: load shaft sensor or load shaft seals, hydraulic couplers. Rebuilding those SCVs, things like that. So we've spent roughly about $5,500 keeping that tractor in the kind of shape it's in. We'll go to the 4255. We immediately had to put new tires on it when buying it. It's been pretty tried and true, though. A few electrical issues, hydraulic temp sensor. The dash is a little wiggy. The 55 series, when it came out, or it might have been like a year or 2 after the 55 series came out, they went to the electronic dash, and as it gets up in age, they tend to act up a little. Ours is definitely acting up. We can still see our vitals, but, you know, it's not ideal. The grand total for that tractor is $2,750 spent on it since we've owned it. That doesn't include maintenance items, okay? This is just things that unexpectedly popped up that we just needed to take care of. And so, kind of summing up, you know, kind of the con of running these older pieces of equipment, it, you know, can be reliability. We talked about, you know, the newer tractors being unreliable, and maybe unreliable is not the word, but they do have their issues because of the technology in place. But kind of the same thing with these older pieces of equipment is, you know, they're tired. You know, they've been around 30 or 40 years, and, you know, they need a little help every once in a while as well. We've been pretty lucky, and we're staying on top of our maintenance, and I probably can't stress that enough. We see something wrong, we fix it, and they've been really good to us. The second con, and it kind of is a money thing, if you will, fuel efficiency. Those pigs out there are pigs, fuel hogs. It's not like detrimental where we're burning, you know, gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons an hour, but it's burning quite a bit. You know, we can probably burn a full tank of fuel, which is 55, 60 gallons in a day. I do know that some of these, like 6155M, probably have double the fuel efficiency of what our 4440 and our 4255 have. It's not a game changer yet for us, but it could be. You know, we're not at the scale of where some folks are. And again, this old iron works for us now. And I'm not saying we're not going to jump up into newer stuff. But where we are right now, where our business is, the amount of business we're doing in the hay industry, these two pieces of old iron work just fine for us. So again, I'm kind of wrap this video up. I really do appreciate you guys watching. I just wanted to go over why we run the older iron, why we think it makes a good sense to run it. Again, hopefully we can grow as a business and start thinking about running this newer equipment. And I wanted to stress, we're only running older tractors. All of our hay equipment is pretty up to date. The oldest piece of equipment is actually our mower. We're not tossing it around, but it's in the back of our mind to replace it. It's 5 years old, and we recently did a lot of work on it. So we've got a little time. We got a little money to recoup based on the amount of money spent at the dealer getting it up to shape. But you know, with that money spent, we got a pretty solid mower. But yeah, all of our hay equipment is up to date. Our baler is what makes our finished product. We want it to look good. Our rake is a no-brainer. We're limiting manpower there. We're limiting a tractor in the field. One pass versus two when it comes to raking and baling, no-brainer. The mower has been a godsend. We went from a 10-foot, which was a TM800 trailed mower Vermeer, to a 15.5-foot, 16-foot cut on the TM1200. We'd love to step it up even more as soon as money allows to like the new TM1410s, and we're even, I said in the back of our mind, talking about a self-propelled mower. We're a little worried about moving it around. Give me some pointers on what y'all think and how far you are spread out if you are running self-propelled mowers. But anyway, wrapping this video up, that is why we run old iron. Money, easy to work on, equity. And we think those three items do outweigh the cons of what we are personally dealing with. Again, guys, Dane here with Gulch Hay Farms. We absolutely love that you're enjoying these videos. Let us know what you want to see. I hope you like our new studio. I literally am in my shop. I put the... Oh. I hope you like the video. I hope you like the new studio with the shiplap wall. Did it myself. Let us know what you want to see. We're going to start doing a little more videos like this, kind of lay out how we do business, things we think are beneficial for us, things we think we like to change. Let us know topics you'd like to discuss or like us to, you know, dig into. Can't thank y'all enough. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell if you want to be notified when we post a video. And Gulch Hay Farms loves you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.